All right, folks, they are flowing here at the Western Track off-track betting in Buffalo, New York, 2310 Clinton Street. We are getting ready to go live for Trainwreck today. We've got a ton of topics. Sabres in action against the Red Wings, who are fluttering in the standings. We've got a happy birthday, Terry Pegula, and we've got a very sweet weekend of action on tap. Let's go!
We all need a place where we can be ourselves, somewhere you can leave all your worries on the shelf, and whether you win or lose, you can count on me, and I can count on you. You know this train never stops. This train never stops. You know this train never stops. This train never stops. You know this train never stops. This train never stops. You know this train never stops. You know this train never stops.
What is up, you beautiful people? We are live here from OTB on 2310 Clinton Street. It is Trainwreck today, brought to you by Herd of Buffalo and Trainwreck Sports. We got a lot to get into. Don on my left, a rare change little here, but we're making it happen. Don, 2310 Clinton, it's bumping with this handicap counting.
Yeah,
handicapping contest about to go off.
Yeah, I mean, we got here bright and early trying to beat the crowd at 11. There was already a line around the door. People were banging on windows to get in, but the doors opened at 11:30. And as you saw in that opening video, the floodgates were open and in came the people. It's a big day.
So obviously a massive handicapping contest we have underway. We will touch base real quick with Ryan Hasnauer, the king of all things going on Batavia Downs Western OTB. But we would be remiss not to get our king in today on a very special day. Happy birthday, Slick L, in making an appearance on his birthday, no less, Don. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, we are now 2 for 2 with the show of birthdays. We did mine back in January on a Friday. We were all in the studio. Now we got him It's a great celebration, and we also have to give our guy Gatesy a shout out.
Big time.
I mean,
Producer
I didn't
Gatesy.
know this till I was informed this year that these guys shared a birthday. Incredible.
Yeah, they're birthday twins, both just attractive guys born on this March 27th. So kudos to you. Do you feel any older, Slick?
Definitely feel like time is catching up with me a bit, day by day, Maniac. You know, you've been telling me the impending big 3-0 is coming, and I feel it creeping. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the day. It's just another day. Don is frame mogging and Oramaxing as usual. and I'm quite jealous that I can't be at this handicapping contest because, quite frankly, it looks buzzing out there at the OTB.
Yeah, we had a great line.
Don't forget, I'm also Jester Gooning.
Well, yes, of course.
These kids nowadays.
I'd be remiss.
It's like I'm telling you, start making sure you're working on the stretching routines, and like you've been practicing a lot of recently, getting to bed early, practicing good habits. Yes. And Terry Pegula's birthday as well. I mean, my goodness, you guys are quite the
Buffalo royalty.
Buffalo royalty, and Buffalo loyalty, as our guy.
Also, Dream. Also, Dream Blunt rotation, myself, Gatesy, and Terry Pegula. Maybe even throw Ryan Hasenauer in there if we're talking a big four.
We are talking Dream Blunt rotations. We were saying you hopping in is not a bad addition.
Oh, that's okay.
Love that.
Oh yeah.
You can hear us and you're good on there.
Oh, here we go.
All good. We'll
what about now? What about now?
Perfect.
Yeah.
But our guy, like we said, Ryan H here. Ryan, amazing crowd here. I'm not typically I'm exaggerating that, Don. Sometimes I'm making up for something where I'm lacking. But love to see the crowd was pouring in here, but just about an hour ago.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we got everybody in here for the contest today. There's still time for you to sign up.
Tons of time. You can get here from Hamburg right now.
Right, absolutely. You know, we'll be here till 1 o'clock today and sign up for our contest. What we're doing is we got a little mini handicapping contest. What happens is you give us $20, I'm going to give you $10 back in free play to Batavia Downs. Then what's going to happen is you're going to give me the winners of 5 races, the first 3 at Aqueduct and races 2 and 3 at Gulfstream. You get a $10 fictional win bet. So if it's
fictional win sounds like how I have to explain to my girlfriend where my 20 went.
Yeah.
So if let's say the horse pays $10, okay, to win for $2. What that's going to end up happening is you're going to multiply that times 5 because you're making a $10 bet. So like a normal win bet's $2 in horse races, right? But we're giving you a $10 win bet. So you multiply the winnings times 5, and so that's your win for that particular race. I have an Excel doc open where I'm logging everything, and I'm actually going to keep track of everybody's running totals. Now, if you pick a horse and he doesn't win, Zach, you get $0.
Okay, that's fair.
But if you win, then you're going to get that. And then what's going to happen is at the end of the 5 races, whoever's got the highest fictional amount of money in their kitty is going to get half of the pot. So if we get 20 people to sign up, that's $400 in the pot. You win $200. So again, you've got lots of time to come down here. We did this at Worley a couple of weeks ago. Had 28 contestants. It was fantastic. Kim, the winner, was a woman named Kim. She was so excited. So was her husband. He did not finish in the top 10. So he missed out. But
listen, it's a new world, okay? And I'm learning just as much as anybody about this handicapping and everything in this game. But to me, it seems like you've kind of created your own fantasy handicapping situation here at Western to be an alternative for our constant customers.
Right, because it's not just betting, when you wager, whether you're doing it here at your local OTB or if you're betting sports, wherever you might be betting sports, that's you versus the books. That's you kind of like betting. Horse racing is fun because you're betting kind of against everyone else. It's called pari-mutuel wagering. All the wagering is kind of going into a pool, and then you get paid out based on how well your horse did. At post time, if I'm looking over my shoulder here at the first race at Tampa, the number 1 horse has got odds of, let's say, like 5-1 or something. If all of a sudden, a lot of money comes in on that horse because a lot of people like it, well, the odds might go down to 3-1. But if you like a horse who's kind of a long shot and nobody's betting him, and he's 10-1 on the morning line, he might end up being 20-1 by the time the race goes off. And if you were smart and you did your due diligence and you did your
love those. I've seen
I love hitting the big.
You
ones,
love those snipes on those 21s. I mean, Don, obviously, once those odds get out there, it's nice to not need 3 first baskets to hit like a 20-1 or a 30-1.
Yeah. All you need is one long shot horse, one race. It's amazing, and I love the deal, like you said, where $20 to enter, but then you get $10 back in free play. I mean, that's like
it's half your money.
Yeah.
I'm also, the other thing too that's really fun is that you're competing against these other people. Like, so it's kind of like a little mini contest within it. Now, a lot of people, I will tell you, they're going to make their bets with me, their fictional bets, and then they're going to get off and actually bet what they bet. in the contest for real money because like, look, if I believe this is going to happen, why wouldn't I go bet it with my real money? But it just adds a little bit of an extra. You talk about the fantasy element. It adds a little bit of extra to that where you're kind of competing against some other of your friends. These guys hang out. We also got people that might be coming from, like I said, the Worley branch, the River branch to come down here. They're going to compete against some other OTB folks. And we do these quarterly at Batavia Downs as well. The next one's coming up actually next weekend. In April, and
that's going to be massive.
And you come out and that one's a good one too. $20, you get 10 back in free play. It's 8 races, not 5 races. It's a little bit of an elongated thing, but we're going to be incorporating, because it's on a Saturday, some of these lead up races, these win in your in races for the Kentucky Derby. So I believe next week
these are big things. So I first learned about this kind of season when we originally partnered up about 2 years ago, because I was starting to learn a little bit more about the culture. I mean, this is the season. This is essentially the playoffs before you get to that one big dance. It's crazy. It's like if you got, the top 16 college basketball teams are facing off this weekend, but it's like if that all happened in that jumble in a season to lead up to that moment, it's kind of crazy. So very surreal and big opportunities for these horses to make it to the Kentucky Derby.
Right. You've got all these different races going across all over the country, just like those conference tournaments. Each one of these lead up races is basically a win and you're in. Even if you finish second, though, you get enough points, you're kind of like an at-large bid for the Kentucky Derby. And, Rich Strike back in 2024, the longest shot to ever win the Kentucky Derby.
Could you imagine having a ticket?
Yeah, it was amazing.
A Rich Strike ticket.
A couple of years ago, I want to say it was maybe 2013. Somebody put a $24 superfecta wheel bet. So a wheel bet's where you bet a certain number of horses in each one of the positions. He put a $24 wheel bet together on the superfecta, and that was the year that we did have a long shot coming in as the winner for the Kentucky Derby, and that person ended up winning $250,000. They won $250,000.
Yeah.
So pretty
and I'm sure he invested
it
in Bitcoin, and the rest is history or something for sure. But speaking of investment, again, we're talking Ryan Hasnauer. Get to 2310 Clinton Street. We've got the handicapping contest going on. It is going to be an exciting afternoon here at OTB. But it's an exciting new afternoon already at OBD, One Bills Drive. DAMAR Hamlin back on a 1-year deal. I don't think we know the finances of it yet, Don, but curious where you land on that with DAMAR Hamlin coming back for another year.
I'm all about depth pieces for our Buffalo Bills. I'm always taking a look to see, what is also going to kind of help with the vibe in the room. We want to have a great team, there's no doubt, but at the same time, it makes me as a fan feel good to know that we've got guys in the room that really respect and care for each other, and that means they're going to really battle for each other out on the field. Obviously the season didn't go the way we wanted it to go at the very end, but at the same time, I know that there's a band of brothers over there that are really looking to fight for each other, and we're going to get over the hump. Excited to get DJ Moore, to get all these guys coming in here. 100%. The draft hasn't even happened yet.
Iron needs to sharpen iron on that side of things. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous, and Don, I'm curious how you feel. I agree on your point with the depth piece. DAMAR is a depth piece.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I want him going in the game though at this point. Like, I don't know. It felt like a liability when he was out there. I don't know if it's maybe just the McDermott system was of it. Maybe Leonard, the new scheme, will be a new birth for our guy DAMAR.
Yeah, I mean, he had a few moments, but then, the injury obviously cut things short. But he's, unfortunately not the same player, he once was. I think in when you're facing like 5 spread wide, and we want a nickel corner in and maybe 3 safeties, that's kind of where his role will come in. And, signing him back for a 1-year deal, this might be another situation that we've seen time and time again with Bean, where it's like, let's get one of these vets back in the locker room, kind of have them teach the younger guys, have them work with Cole Bishop a little bit. Maybe like they're bringing him back as like a player coach.
I hate to use it on a live show, the C word, continuity. All right, that's what we're trying to go with here in the locker room, obviously. So you like to see that, and there is something to what you said, Ryan, about the Band of Brothers battling for each other, going out and giving everything they got. I just think we would need to see a little improvement from what we saw last from DAMAR if I was trusting him in any kind of game in a big spot, for sure.
You talk about Jim and the possibility of a new scheme. That's super important. He might fit in that a different way than he did before. So,
if I might as well, it seems like they're bringing in a lot of 1-year deal guys to this defensive backfield. Feels like kind of they're figuring it out. This feels like a test it year in terms of the defensive backs. See what works, what doesn't. Obviously, you got CJ Gardner-Johnson now, as well as Geno Stone, both on 1-year deals. So little surprise there for DAMAR, but I kind of agree with Ryan. I think this is more of a depth move, and to keep, like you said, Maniac, keep the continuity in the locker room. DAMAR is a guy that's respected in the Bills locker room and amongst Bills Mafia as a fan base. So I think ultimately not a bad move, little surprising, but if it keeps things working, keep it working in the backfield.
Yeah, again, if we're talking second safety in the absolute bottom of the barrel depth option, I'm not trying to be disrespectful towards DAMAR. We saw him at Fanatics Fest last year. He's clearly loved by a lot of people for sure. But I'm interested to see ultimately if he can do anything, if he can produce anything in this role on this side of things. Sorry, my internet just gave out over here.
No, okay.
But
well, that's okay.
But
we're good on
I'll
my
tell you
end.
what's not giving out is birthday boy Terry Pegula. We got our birthday boy Slick Al. We got our birthday boy
today's
Gatesy
Slick's
well.
birthday.
Yeah, Slick's
Happy birthday, man! That's
Slick's
awesome.
birthday.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
we
you.
got it back. We got it back. That was mine.
Ryan, I
let
wanted
my
to
phone go
say
sleep.
too that OTB tracksuit top is fresh. I might need my.
Oh yeah, I got the back here too. And if you can see on the back.
There you go.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Where are
Oh,
these?
oh, my
Western
God.
we
tell
need to be rolling and rocking those
We'll
next
get
time.
you. We'll get you some
Like
Batavia
some
Downs
matching
gear here at some
pants,
point.
too.
Sure, yeah.
Wow, could you imagine us hanging out for the final 4 games of the tournament? Us, Byron, all in the matching sweatsuits. That would be
Come on
be
down.
sick.
Hanging out at the track in
Yes.
tracksuits.
Track
There
and
you go.
track.
We got lots of
Hey,
great specials with our
If we
friends
do
at
that
Coors
for the
Light.
Final Four, we need like the rip-off style, and we come in with like, the Alan Parsons project playing.
Yeah.
or something.
Okay. Appreciate everyone sticking in with us here. Trainwreck Sports, Herd of Buffaloes are rolling on from 2310 Clinton Street, OTB. Speaking of signings for the Buffalo Bills, we had one kind of go under the radar. A Buffalo Bill wide receiver is back, Trent Sherfield Sr., to be exact. When we last saw him, he was unfortunately kind of committing a big drop in the AFC divisional game in that one. But when we also saw the end of that season, he was having a touchdown catch in Miami in week 18 to help us win the division. So it was a little of good, little of bad. Do you think that this is a factor, positive, negative, or a non-factor signing for the Buffalo Football Bills?
Again, a depth piece, somebody that knows the offense, who can fill in a pinch. I'm sure we all love the guy, but we don't necessarily want him to be out on the field all the time. But if he's got to be out there and he's got to contribute, want to make sure you got somebody that at least has the knowledge, the baseline knowledge of what's going on here. We want to probably draft a couple of really good, picks here for, in the draft to shore up the wide receiver room. And look, anything else can happen. People get disgruntled. Somebody has a bad training camp. Somebody wants out. There's a lot of things that can happen before we take the first snap over at the new Highmark. So we'll have to see what comes down to it. But I don't think it's a non-factor.
You can file both these signings under exactly what you just said. Don't mind the guy, but really hope I don't have to see him on the field doing too much. Like honestly, that would probably be the best case scenario for both. I was throwing it real quick to the happy birthday Terry Pegula of it all. I know we got our guy Slick celebrate his birthday. We got Gatesy as well. What do you think Terry Pegula is doing for the birthday?
Jeez, Terry's a family guy, right? And I don't know, is Jessie playing anywhere for tennis today?
She was. Well, here's the thing. In the birthday week of it all, he got to watch Jessie play at the Miami Open, which he said he always wants to watch his daughter play tennis. So that's a winner. We know that as a parent. You're a parent.
100%.
So I can imagine that. But I can imagine a lot of yacht life. Very interesting to see. My other last thing on the Buffalo football of it all. Newest member of Bills Mafia, Whitney Rose.
Oh, so
Real Housewife of Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw the clip of that the other day.
Can this panel name 4 other housewives?
No, I cannot.
I can't name one other.
I watch live sports, and that's about it, man.
No chance.
Okay.
That's what we have you around here for, Maniac. So you can keep us.
He's the in-house.
Lisa Barlow is screaming right now about you guys. But I'll tell you what else is screaming. These Buffalo hockey Sabres.
Oh my goodness.
They can't seem to not find a point on finding ways in the last 2 games, despite not having their best stuff, maybe being figured out a little bit by opponents, to regain the lead. The only problem is that they can't keep those leads, get to OT both times where they fall a little bit short. Curious what you saw maybe in the similarities of both those matchups and how you feel going into the Detroit matchup tonight.
Yeah, honestly, the game against the Bruins was eerily similar to the game against the Ducks, where it just seemed like we couldn't get our feet moving. Now, I'm going to be honest, it kind of bothers me more that happened during Boston than the Ducks. I said before, the Ducks are like us. They're a young team. The cycle through the neutral zone, control the puck very fast. Bruins are not this fast team. They're a team we really should be out skating. I don't think we should have gotten dragged down into the game that we got dragged into them. But like you said, we found a way to get a point. That's encouraging, especially, again, when third period we're down, and then somehow we score 2 to take the lead, but then give up a late goal. I do not think UPL played great in that at all.
Bottom line, bad game for UPL. But also
the one off the boards was really, he just got caught.
It felt, the one off the boards was really
down.
bad. I don't like that one, and I don't like the Pasternak one, even when it was kind of a fluky opportunity where they kicked it in and then he passed it back. It was a weird opportunity, but I did not like the game from UPL. That was something we had, and I think Lyon is now clearly ahead for the what I would call PG1 of it all, the playoff game one, Ryan, even though they've kind of been sharing all season.
Yeah, I mean, it end of a road trip, right? And a West Coast road trip at that. And then you're coming back, you got a little bit of rest, but the season's a grind. We're getting down to the end. This is where we got to really show our mettle, though, and say that we've got some depth pieces. And I know that we sent somebody down yesterday to Rochester, but hopefully a little bit of a bounce back here with Detroit tonight. And then, of course, everyone's looking at not this Monday, but following Monday. I got my eyes locked in on that game.
You're talking about the Dingus Day Massacre?
The Dingus Day Massacre. Yeah, the night of the national championship game, too, by the way. So it's going to be quite the night.
That is, sure. What is going on with that night? How did we not even realize that?
You know this. I'll share this with Ryan. So the interesting thing is I'm actually going to be in Tampa Bay on that Monday.
Are you really?
So I'm gonna find a Tampa Bay Lightning bar and wear my Sabres jersey into there. Haley doesn't want me to. She thinks
that would be outstanding. That would be outstanding. All right, well, hey, we got our guy. It's all good. Our guy Ryan's got to help people stuff. We have an awesome handicap contest going on here at OTB. Don, with that said, handicapping the Sabres tonight. Have you looked at the odds?
I think we were minus 180 or something.
You're good. You're good.
There's free pizza here, so I just was trying to get the receipt.
We need to help with the free pizza. Listen, priorities for sure. But I was saying, handicapping the Sabres. Do you have any idea what they are tonight against the Red Wings?
Are we looking at the puck line or the money line?
Money line. I got it pulled up.
I'm going to say that we are, because Detroit's having a tough time. I listened to the GR this morning. They're talking about it. I'm going to say it's minus 154.
Minus 150. Wow, pretty damn good snipe by our guy. Give it that. You like to see that? That's a true at DGen at heart when they can nail the line more than nailing the actual pick. For sure, I love that.
Can I make a public service announcement about the lines?
You need to.
I cannot stand everybody on Twitter. Well, I can't say everybody on Twitter anyway, but no, I can't say everybody on Twitter and these people that are just like, oh man, how do the books do it? It's always so close. First of all, it's not always close. But you guys have to understand something. When you guys see people and they're complaining, they're like, how is this person? Patrick Mahomes is injured. How is he the favorite for the MVP? The lines are not set on what they think is going to happen. Okay, just public service announcement. No line is set on what Vegas thinks is actually going to happen. The line is set so that Vegas gets equal betting on both sides. Because the Vegas keeps the VIG. They keep that, when you pay minus 110 to win $100.
Yeah, it's a business.
That $10 is going to be kept by the book. So that VIG is what's kept by the book. So everyone has to understand that the way Vegas works and the way that the lines work for all these sports books is they're just trying to get equal money on both sides. Sometimes it does fall on the line and it's crazy like that. They won by 3, it's 3 or whatever.
That's where you got to be knowledgeable about the reverse line movement and stuff like that.
Yes,
when
exactly.
You're like, when lines start moving in weird ways, that's because, like you said, they're balancing the books because they have a whale that put it on one side.
And it could be sharp money, but it could be square money. Now you're looking at square money right here. I'm square as can be. I'm no sharp over here.
We're all squares at heart. I know Don and I try to be sharp for sure. We definitely try to look at that stuff. But it's just so funny because then, just like you said, the books profit off the minus 110 of it all. That's their insurance profit.
Exactly.
That's the way of guaranteeing their profit. But then yesterday you have a DraftKings tweet out. They're like 97% of users had Paul Skeens over 5.5 strikeouts.
Yeah.
He didn't even get out of the first inning.
And then even too, I told you my pick. I'm like, I love Texas plus 7.5. Well, by tip off, it goes up to 8.5, and I'm like, shit. I clearly the line's moving the opposite way I wanted to, but I might be a big dummy, and then they lose by 2, and we cover kind of easily, and they're in it the whole game. So who,
the tough situation with
that was a square pick.
It's always tough to know is how was it? How do you know whether it was one whale for a couple million or if it was
a million squares.
$550 bets. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's the challenge, like in reading between those tea leaves.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
you had the same thing with the line movement to Nebraska. Obviously, only the slight favorite with 2.5. Line starts going towards 11 seed Iowa. You have to think something is up there. Everyone we even identified that it was a sketchy line. I was still on Nebraska because I was doubting them all season. Then they proved me wrong. Then right back in my face, the line proves to be correct when it shifts towards a dog like the Hawkeyes were.
Right? Somebody knew. Well, I don't know if somebody knew something, but somebody who was moving the line did. I was on Texas last night. I was on Arizona over
But
for the
Brett,
points,
but because I want to put a button on, I want to do some basketball talk and get you back to the crew here.
Yeah, I gotta announce free pizza here.
Yes, absolutely free pizza. Real quick, what is your confidence level in the Sabres as of right now?
As far as how far they're going to go in the playoffs?
Are you thinking like would you take they win a series and then lose to the Lightning in the second round?
Would I take that? I guess I would, having endured the drought for so long. I really think this team can win 2 series, though. It's really
so 2 series is your expectation?
Is my expectation,
okay.
and it depends on the matchup. So the Lightning, there's no joke, they're a great team.
I think if we play the Lightning in round 2, that's our Super Bowl. That's our U.S. Russia 1980. Because I'm just saying like there'll be games after it, but like if we win that, we're winning the cup because it's just all going to seem so easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my expectation is 2 rounds for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, 2 rounds. Shout out to our guy, Ryan Hasenauer. He's going to make sure people are getting their rounds of pizza here at OTB. That's a great spot. Listen, they have the handicap contest on. They got the free pizza as well. Free pizza is kind of a thing of the past. So let's throw it back in time with our guy Slick here as well for Flashback Friday. What do you got?
I was just saying,
Sponsored
I got it
by William Matar Law Offices. I just got talked. All right. So let's jump right into the Buffalo Sabres of it on this date in 1998. See, I always love these. This should be called a Hasek to me. 1-0 shutout for Dominic Hasek. Just enough for the team to get it done against Edmonton in 98. I think that was a Hart Trophy year, if my memory serves correctly. On this date in 2010, speaking of those pesky Lightning, our guy Derek Roy, probably when I think about it of our generation, this is very possible. One of the most underrated Sabres of the generation. When you look at the points outputs and you look at how he was able to still play good, even when like we entered the beginning of the drought period, he was still playing good along with those Pominvilles, the Vaneks, of course. Speaking of which, in 2012, Miller, I think he stops 40 plus. It might be 44. I might have typed 41. Might have been 44 of 45 against Washington. And a 5-1 win as Drew Stafford scored twice. And then, unfortunately, on this date in 2024, a young man drove 900 miles to KeyBank Center to see his first Buffalo Sabres game, only for the Buffalo Sabres to allow 5 goals in the first 20 minutes. Absolutely took the wind out of that young man's sails that day. But listen,
hopefully he's been to a game.
That shows how far we've come. Yeah, we were picking up the vibes and got things going in the right direction. Speaking of the right direction, it's like a lot of wrestling history on this day.
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to say on that 2012 one, when you said Derek Roy, one of the most underrated Sabres in history of the run of it all, I think Drew Stafford's name could land in that conversation as well. But the Flashback Friday and wrestling talk, Maniac, this first one popped up when I was looking at this day in like TV and film history. I forgot this absolutely happened. 1985, Hulk Hogan is basically like pressured into putting Richard Belzer in a rear naked choke on live TV. I'm not sure what kind of day show this was.
Yeah, this was like a night talk show. I think I remember seeing a clip of this.
So Belzer goes unconscious, which is why Hulk Hogan was reluctant to do this, because when the Hulkster wraps the pythons around you, you might not be seeing anything but stars in the near future. Rich Belzer goes unconscious, hits his head on the floor, and has to get 9 stitches, immediately sues the Hulkster for $5 million. In 1985, that's a lot of fucking money, folks. And they settle out of court. What does Belzer do? He immediately goes and buys a vacation home in France. So,
I mean, he probably got a cool $500K mil or something. In 1985, that's like $5 million.
Enough to buy a vacation home in France, I suppose.
We had WrestleMania 4 in Atlantic City. Macho Man Randy Savage ends up getting the championship there. And 06, we have the go home Raw to WrestleMania, where John Cena faces off against, of course, why not have a go home opponent of Mr. McMahon, only for his WrestleMania opponent and Mr. McMahon's son-in-law, Triple H, to interfere. And then in 08, we had our first live Impact Select, some great names. You had the Nash of it all, a lot of great names for the first live Impact. But now I look at it, wow, what a rundown for music on this day, Don.
Yeah, so we're starting off with 1970. Ringo Starr releases his first solo album, Sentimental Journey. I think Ringo Starr might still be touring with the Ringo Starr All Stars. They play a little bit of solo stuff, but a lot of Beatles stuff. And then it's always so funny when we're looking up on this day in music. I gotta admit, like 50% of them are about arrests.
Oh no.
Yes. Well, so I threw this one in here because it's nothing to be. We shouldn't even be talking about it.
No,
to me, it's just the least surprising development in the history of music. Jerry Garcia gets stopped for speeding. Lead singer of the Grateful Dead, for those who don't know. And guess what? They find acid in his car. Who would have thought? The lead singer of the Grateful Dead.
He really probably forgot. He probably would have taken it if he knew.
Yeah. Side note: do you guys ever know the story about when the Grateful Dead visited the Playboy Bunny House?
Oh no!
To be on their Playboy After Dark show in 1969.
No, I would love to know though.
You guys should check it out. There's videos, but the story is basically like they dosed all the coffee, so the entire crew, all the girls, Hugh Hefner got like everyone was tripping balls on LSD at the Playboy Mansion. And they were these freaks that came in. Anyway, yeah, just some wacky stuff. 1981, Blizzard of Oz is released in the U.S. Now, I don't know much about this. Slick, what is the Blizzard of Oz?
Blizzard of Oz was Ozzy Osbourne album. I don't know too much about it.
We got any hits? What do we got on this?
The Prince of Darkness releasing this in the U.S. in the 80s. I mean,
oh my goodness.
There must have been a buzz to the streets.
45 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, no, this was huge. It had Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley on it.
What?
On this album.
Crazy Train? That's insane.
By the way, Blizzard of Oz, one of the greatest album names ever. Very well done.
Crazy train of people for the free pizza here.
Rest in peace, Prince of Darkness.
Then I'll add one for, speaking of arrest, too. 1991, Donnie Wahlberg of New Kids on the Block.
Oh no!
Arrested for setting fire to carpets using a bottle of vodka.
Classic Donnie. Classic Donnie.
Wait, well, why is he wasting the vodka on that? That's crazy.
I'm assuming he had enough that something clicked in his brain that was a good idea. And 92, year later, we get two Springsteen albums released by Columbia, Human Touch and Lucky Town. And then we have some big time birthdays for female singers.
Big birthday day.
Yeah, Mariah Carey, Fergie, and Jessie J.
Wow.
So and again, I mean, huge birthday day, because then we got Gatesy, we got Slick, and we got Terry. I mean, just an incredible day.
If you had to be one of their managers, which one would you choose to be? Mariah Carey, Fergie, or Jessie J?
Oh, man. Probably Jessie J, just based on the weight that comes with being the manager of Mariah Carey or Fergie. I mean, those phones are ringing off the hook 24/7, I would assume.
Remember when Mariah Carey or Fergie did like the front flip on the morning show she was on while she was singing?
I don't.
What's Fergie best remembered for these days? Like being a great singer by herself, the Black Eyed Peas, or butchering the national anthem at the NBA All-Star?
Yeah. Why'd you have to rush to that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, there's like a few things, and that's one of them.
Well, I mean, Mariah Carey also is known for like whenever she performs.
What about Mariah Carey? Besides 50 Cent, she had the worst first pitch of all time.
Yeah.
She threw the ball like down to the left and it rolled. It didn't even make it to the first baseline.
Well, I was going to say there's the infamous, like, 2 or 3 of the Macy's Day Parade. She had to be like carried off stage and was like clearly lip syncing. And was very, very messed up. That being said, I would be her manager because
there were just weird things in the 2000s, like lip syncing and like screaming that would like get you canceled. That just don't get you canceled anymore. Like we've decided we're fine with it as a society. That's where I'm flashing back to, thinking about that. I'm thinking about our Ashley Simpsons. I'm thinking about our Howard Deans.
that was when it happened with Ashley Simpson. The world went ablaze.
Outraged.
Now no one.
No one would care for sure. Very interesting. Wait, so who's Jessica Lange? Was that the mom in Forrest Gump?
I'm not positive. I just see I think they won Best Picture. Tom Hanks won Best Actor. Jessica Lange also won for the same film.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right, well, credit Jessica Lange.
It's been a long time since I've seen the film.
Okay, life is like a box of chocolates.
And I was also going to say too,
with
the big birthday names, wait till you see the one in TV and pop culture. I mean, it just gets better.
I'm seeing it right now. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, the King of Feet.
The King of Feet. Also, I feel like Quentin Tarantino got kind of canceled because he said that one dude sucked at acting, and everyone's like, no, that guy's good at acting.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
yeah. Well, that happened pretty recently. Who was it?
It was the guy who was playing who played the Riddler in the newest Batman. I can't name him, but he's been in a number of films, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
He's got glasses, like short, like kind of like brown hair.
Yeah, he's in a number
of films. But he was doing that the whole film.
Yeah.
You saved it right there for sure, big time. But yeah, Quentin Tarantino said he sucked, and then everyone was like, "No, he doesn't suck. You suck, Quentin Tarantino." So, Paul Dano.
Yeah,
shout out producer Rachel.
Isn't there a joke how he gets like punched in the face in every single movie he's
in?
be.
He's very punchable.
Just because the guys he always plays. He's in another big one. I'm forgetting about that. There Will Be Blood.
Oh
right. Yeah. He's like the preacher in that one.
Was he in The Girl Next Door? As one of the friends?
Yeah, he was too.
He
was the guy that was the friend, like pretending to be a porn star director.
Pretending to be a porn star director. Ridiculous movie. If you haven't seen it, shout out Alicia Cuthbert for sure. Nick, girl of the 2000s. Speaking of being that is Flashback Friday. Grey's Anatomy debuts. Any thoughts on McDreamy or McSteamy? R.I.P. McSteamy passed away, I think. So
yeah, seriously.
Like it's great to be McSteamy till you're RIP. So RIP our guy. Respect there. Well, I'm just saying, I would love to be McDreamy. It's these things to aspire.
We have a McDreamy in it, and he's in a boat form.
Seriously, he is in a boat form. Speaking of a boat, Slick, you are fully sunk in the big dance. Unfortunately, you're Houston going home.
Yeah, dude. Yesterday was really tough in terms of March Madness matchups. I thought I had a great betting slate ahead of me. I thought I was ahead of the squares with the Nebraska line. The Texas cover was a huge start for the slate. The Battle of Corn, Nebraska still finds a way to blow it. And then I go to bed with an even more upsetting with my horse in the dance. Only one left of the three of us. They go to half, like not bad, not great, and then end up just completely getting ran out of the gym by
It perfectly summed up though how much different making the Sweet 16 is than the round of 32, because you got to enjoy it all week. You got to think about your horse making a run, aka my girl Felicia Leggett Jack's point about having to always get thrown into the UConn bracket for no reason. Let's figure it out for sure. Shot.
Yeah.
You like how I made that about me?
I am shocked that none of us made it to the Elite Eight.
Crazy.
So
crazy.
We all got pretty solid teams, really comfortably in the top 10.
Really good seeding too. Yeah.
Yeah, all our teams were in the top 20 at that point for sure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. I know.
Because what were you? Houston was a 2, Kansas was a 4.
Houston
what were you?
You
were a 5.
Yeah.
Or 3.
3.
Zags
were
3.
Yeah.
3.
Zags were
2, and none of us.
I was a
It's
6.5 point
wild.
favorite in round 2. I went home. That's so unfair. Why do all the worst things happen to me?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Illinois
against Houston though. Did they just put the tournament on alert?
Dude, the Fighting Illy, man. I they're a team I've doubted in the bracket each year. I think we do see a different story in the Elite Eight. Who do they have the matchup with now? Is it Arkansas? Or no, Arkansas lost last night.
Arkansas
Arizona.
lost last night. Arizona scored 109. So that's
yeah.
probably
They're. I feel like it's the writings on the wall. It's Arizona. Although Iowa does. Did you see that their star player has played every single minute?
No, it's amazing.
Yes.
I love that.
He has 0 fouls and 1 giveaway in
that's
120 minutes
playing
of
elite
game
ball.
time.
He's playing elite
Oh,
ball.
what a sicko!
Shout out the chat, Black Hawk Flower Girl, Ben Maz, Warlock. I see you out there, Bibble. We got a great vibe going here on this Friday. Trainwreck today, 87, the Gronkowski edition, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna say the Gronkowski edition, you might as well call it the Sidney Crosby edition too. For fuck's sake. By the way, some great matchups tonight too in the NCAA tourney. No shortage of action there.
Yeah, tonight's the crazy matchup with you got Michigan versus Alabama, and then you got St. John's against Duke.
Yep,
and you got obviously. Yep, and obviously our our friends over at Barstool, I'm sure you guys have seen with the little crazy wager that Dave and Rico got going on this game.
Insane wager, but I also feel like he's gonna bitch out of it if he loses.
Rico,
yeah,
I didn't hear about this.
Basically, if Alabama wins, they're 8.5 point dogs, 9 point dogs. Alabama wins, then Rico gets a 10-year guaranteed contract for double his salary, which I assume is pretty handsome. I assume he's making at least 100 to 150K. So that would make him making 220, 300.
Yeah.
But which would be insane. But if it loses, he has to do a podcast recurring weekly with this guy who he like literally can't stand so bad that he breaks into convulsions and tries to fight him.
Longtime rival Jeff Nadeau,
Nadeau
is honestly kind of hated all over the gambling sphere as well for Twitter because
Jeff Nadeau, yeah.
I don't know if you remember back when there were the spaces were really hot. You had like Elf
Jeff
holding
Nadeau,
spaces.
Jeff Nadeau is if Roger Klotz was a person. He's not outright villainous, but everyone sees him coming and is
yeah. Well, he runs his mouth on the internet, and then you had Nikki Smokes confront him face to face, be like, "You're gonna kick my ass," and he kind of just folded, turned around,
fold a little bit, and Nikki Smokes at all.
So he's a little troll, and I don't mean that in an internet way. I mean that in a height way. He's just a small troll of a person.
Me and Jeff Nadeau are gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, so that'll make that even more exciting. But
what was the line, Slick, on one seeds making it to the Final Four again?
Let me get that up.
Wasn't it 1.5 or 2? Because it looks like it's gonna be.
I think it was 1.5.
Over 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was what minus.
Houston was a 1.
So no, Houston was a 2.
Houston was a 2.
That was what minus 300. I think they had it at.
Yeah.
What was the bet that the one I'm really interested in tracking is the one where it was what was it, a bird mascot?
It was and someone snuck
type
in
of mascot.
Yeah. What was that?
Well, it was I think he wanted to bet on Iowa, and it was plus 1,400, but then it was 25, and he's like, "You're betting on Iowa plus 8 other options or whatever." And
and then they took it right down.
Wasn't it somebody more disguised though? I thought it was they don't seem to understand so and such is a bird. I didn't realize it was such an obvious one with the Hawkeyes. I know what we're talking about. I'm throwing in a
But yeah, so I think all we have left is the Hawkeyes, right?
Yes.
Because Duke Blue Devils, Arizona Sun Devils, right? Arizona, or is that Arizona State? No, Arizona Sun Devils, right?
Yeah,
or Wildcats. Wildcats. Sorry.
Oh.
The Sun Devils are Arizona State.
Is the Sun Devils. So that guy
Wildcats.
really thought he was doing something with the weather in terms of the mascot, and then immediately taken down by the books.
Yeah.
Oh, the Iowa State Cyclones. The weather.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
That's what it was.
weather,
They were
weather,
thinking
weather.
St. John's Red Storm.
It was
That's where
Iowa
it
State
was.
Cyclones, and then he was like, "You also get a little bit of hedge with the Miami Hurricane."
So he is doing something with the Iowa State Cyclones, though, because
Yeah,
Iowa State's in the Sweet 16 as a favorite.
Yeah. And
Iowa State looks
And
really
St.
good.
John's is still in it as well as a 6.5-point dog. So weather
Yeah.
has a lot.
But I think I checked back in on him, and he was like, "Yeah, stupid me to post this before placing my
Yeah,
bet."
it got
Like I don't
locked.
think
Yeah.
he
That
got it in.
that's
Like
painful.
other people
I mean, if
got
you're gonna post that, you want to bet it, you absolutely have to bet that before you-
Immediately.
Like, you're
Immediately.
crazy not to. For sure. Speaking of brackets, how are we looking at the Buffalo bracket side of things? Feel like things are moving at a breakneck pace right now, a lot in the air.
They are now. Quick update for people. People are probably saying, "What is going on?" There's been 0 matchups posted today. They start at 10 a.m. Well, what happened was, in the haste of getting all this bracket done, my laptop charger was left in the studio. Zach returned it to me. We have all the graphics made. We're going to launch as soon as we
You
get
could
the
argue
show up.
I'm the bracket MVP.
Yeah, because I went, but they were all the graphics for everything was on my computer. Couldn't turn her on, but we're gonna get back up live, and it's just gonna be a little delayed. We're gonna be spitfiring matches every every.
I am dead serious when I say this. We might have to get an OTB kiosk to Hilbert and to our studio because the ambiance of having someone come place a bet right next to Rachel while she's standing producing the show is outstanding. I am absolutely loving it. It is a great vibe. And she seems to be embracing it as well, is what I'm saying. So I think that it's just great for the show and the culture.
We need Rachel at the kiosk post Trainwreck today.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll say the biggest news though on the Buffalo bracket front. Let me just bring up our schedule real quick. So the biggest upset we had yesterday, Sweet Buffalo, number 13, taking down number 4, Cost of Living. So that was huge. And again, I got to remind people, like, you can get certain work done on different platforms. They lost on Twitter.
You got to
by
push
a big
on
margin.
and
By a big margin.
Yeah, it's like they're not
and
aware.
then, but cooked on Facebook and cooked on Instagram. We saw that with Totally Buffalo too. This year's interesting because I feel like a lot of dark horses, higher seeds, we're finding out maybe should have been seeded higher because on Facebook and Instagram, now that we brought that in, they're a lot more popular. But all eyes on today's matchups. Crazy. We have powerhouse food matchup: beef on weck versus sponge candy.
Oh man.
We have the coaches facing off: Joe Brady versus Lindy Ruff.
Oh,
a 2-7.
no. Brady versus Ruff.
And then to put more blood in the water, 2-7, Deion Dawkins versus Tage Thompson.
Oh no.
Not 72 versus 73.
Yeah. So this
Oh,
is
no.
a total Bills versus Sabres
This is a
day
bloodbath.
on a Friday.
This is a one Buffalo bloodbath.
Yeah.
This is an OBB.
Yeah.
We're at
One has a
OTB. We're
key-
talking about OBB.
One has a key to the city, one has a gold medal. Like, it just doesn't get much
Yeah.
crazier than that.
Lindy's got the 198 sign now.
He does. Big move by Lindy for sure. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes in. Obviously, everyone get involved in the Buffalo Bracket. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get on there and get to voting. We have got a little bit. We had some very much fun last weekend. So for our Friday fundraising, let's go ahead and take a look at the fun we had with our friends at TSE and Sweet Buffalo this past weekend.
Buddy's motto is save one until there are none.
There's nothing like bringing home a rescue dog, but if you can't adopt, Buddy's always needs foster families too.
And there's lots of ways you can volunteer and get involved, whether it's donating online or fostering a dog like Poppy.
These dogs have been through a lot, but they have a lot to give.
No one rallies around a cause like the Buffalo community. You know what to do, Mafia.
All right, Mafia, you know what to do there. Make sure you're always staying in touch with Buddy Second Chance Rescue, Sweet Buffalo, to help all those good causes. But Slick, it's not time for a message in that direction. It's not time for a call. It's time for some FaceTime.
Whoa.
Oh.
What's up, boys? How are we doing?
Speaking of the
pretty-
guy.
Yeah, the
This is
swine
pretty
tickler.
legit.
You guys know
I'm
me?
actually on FaceTime this time. Tage, you're out at the OTB. What are your first impressions of people getting in on the handicapping contest out there?
Listen, it's just like my focus on the ice. It's all about points. Okay. I know you guys have embraced me as the twine tickler. Obviously, everybody calls me that. But right now, I'm the prince of points. Okay. It doesn't matter if we're stacking points in the games. It doesn't matter if I'm stacking points on the score sheets. Boys, it's all about points, 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 points.
And speaking of points, I don't know if you heard the prior segment. Big matchup, not only with the Sabres and Red Wings, but you against Dion Dawkins in the Buffalo bracket. Any feelings about Dion?
Yeah, he's, I would say, first off, he's a great guy. I respect what the Bills are doing there. All I would say on this matchup is that while he might have the key to the city, I've got the keys to everyone's heart right now as the twine tickler. So vote Tage, vote often.
Tage, you are the twine ticklers. Failed to find the back of the twine in the last game. Red Wings could be a first potential round playoff matchup. Looking to prove something here tonight. Do you find the back of the twine? Do we get 2 points?
Yeah, well, listen, one way or other, I am, if it's me feeding it to Tucky, if it's Zucker one way, I mean, listen, I feed Zucker, we go ahead late in the game. The other night, I don't think you're giving me enough credit for that, Slick, honestly.
I'm sorry.
I guess I have to go, beat on the drum with Sabretooth too. I guess I need to go play the organ with Curtis Cook. I guess I have to go host in the arena with Courtney Corbetta too, if in the eyes of Slickel. So I'll just make sure I do all that tonight. I'll make sure I do all that tonight, and I'll get a win.
Too.
Yeah, I'll sing the anthem. Sorry, Doug. Move on over. It's Tagey Pipes time.
I'm sure you have a beautiful voice.
All right, I got to get back to it. I got to get ready to host the game tonight.
All right. I'm sorry, Tage. Hey, have a good one.
Jeez, I can't believe you just ostracized a guest like that.
Dude, I wasn't trying to. My goodness.
Okay, well, we'll try to do a little better with this next one. Coach Joe, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking the time here at OTB.
Yeah, glad to do it, boys. Glad to do it. Got a little time off before draft. Getting ready for the draft, but it's Friday, and, I'm looking around. I think I'm going to have to get down on this on this contest they got going on. The NFL doesn't have anything against me betting on horses. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
I was going to say, betting on horses, it seems like you've been talking since you took over that you're going to be betting on Keon Coleman to be your guy, to be a wide receiver in this system. Any update there? And what is your current vibe on Keon keeping in touch with him during the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I like the work he's been doing. He's really been putting in work while a lot of guys are just kind of enjoying themselves still and, waiting until training camp to get ramped up. He's not taking any time off. And listen, the way I'm approaching this team is, other than the guy under center, everyone's got to win their spot. Everyone's got to prove themselves. That's the kind of mentality we're going to have. And, hey, his future is in his hands. That's all I got to say. It's up to him whether he's gonna be our guy or not.
The future is in the hands of the fans of Trainwreck Sports in the Buffalo bracket. As Dreamboat mentioned before, you also have a tough matchup. You're going against powerhouse coach Lindy while the Sabres look to make a playoff push. You've met Lindy, correct? How do you feel about the matchup?
Yeah, I did the day I was at the game. Got to meet him in the tunnel briefly. Listen, he's not only a great guy, but just he's a living legend. Let's be honest. If you see where he's placed in all-time wins in the NHL, I mean, every time he's been at the Sabres, if we're being honest, the Sabres are the only team he's been successful with as a coach. I mean, Dallas, nothing. New Jersey, nothing. But somehow he comes back to Buffalo and he has a lot of magic. And you know what? I feel like a lot of people want me kind of stick up for myself and say, yeah, I'm going to take him down. But listen, I want Lindy to win this, and I'm voting for Lindy, actually.
Oh, my gosh. Breaking news.
Going full breaking bill on us for sure. With that said, how do you plan on spending the rest of the offseason? Obviously, OTAs began in just about a month and a week.
Yeah, just getting more and more plays in my book, adding more stuff, making sure I'm coming in fully prepared for that. And I'm just watching ball. I'm watching ball all the time. Even if I'm just going down to the park watching some flag football, I'm just taking ball in any way I can. And speaking of flag football, yeah, I heard you guys talk about it on your show. That NFL showing was an absolute disgrace. Speaking of coaching, I'd love to get in there and coach those guys up a little bit.
Indeed. We saw you at the hoops. Do you enjoy the hoops when they came back to Buffalo?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a South Florida guy. Listen, we have perfect weather all the time. So if I'm not playing football, I'm playing basketball, and there's courts everywhere. So if it wasn't for football, I'd be doing that. And you see all the time, guys are drafted from that NCAA that never even played football other than maybe in high school, and they turn into tight ends. So really what I'm doing is scouting, trying to see if I can turn one of these guys into a receiver.
All right. Well, listen, the last thing I want to do is hold you back from scouting. Coach Joe, thanks for stopping by on this FaceTime Friday.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Coach.
Awesome. Okay, and winding it down here. Listen, we might have to make a break for it. The handicap competition is getting underway here at OTB 2310 Clinton Street. Let's just check out real quick. I know we are unfortunately no pop culture corner this week. Shout out to our guy Nick, who's always holding us down in that regard. Anything on the Trainwreck Sports Crash Out line, sponsored by our friend William Tar Law Offices.
Yeah, so pulling it up, there's nothing on the line right now, but I do have a quick crash out. We talked about it before on the show. Oh, actually, this guy's calling me right now.
Oh, what?
But so
what is it?
So you guys know the trouble my car has been through.
Oh yeah, pull him up right now. Pull him up right now. Pull him up.
Well, no,
answer him.
He's letting it go.
No.
He got it.
Hello?
Okay, Don is taking the call.
This is Car Shield, folks.
Yeah, this is him.
Okay, he verifies identity. Good job by the salesperson.
Yeah, I guess I was just wondering what happened. I kind of saw the car this morning, and
oh no!
And like, did you back into it? Where? Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Someone backed into Don's car. Don's dealt with broken windows. He's dealt with getting backed into.
So this guy left a note on his car, I'm assuming.
See, it seems that way.
Oh my God, this is huge developments, not in a good way.
Guy's doing a lot of talking. Don's doing a lot of listening.
Expressing apology, potentially.
Right.
Oh, that could have been that could have been so many different things. We're very, very tense here on Trainwreck today. 87, wrapping it up here at OTB. We thought we were gambling on the horses,
like
but
there
Don's
was a little dent on the one side, and then I think like my front plastic grate kind of got disconnected or something. Could I? I'm sorry. Could I actually call you back in a minute?
Oh.
All right. Donnie.
Oh.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, that was it. That was a great move because you got to see his full playbook. You got to see what he was going to throw at you, and now you called the timeout. Now you can get back to it.
So this is what I was talking about. So I had my window smashed, right? And then my car door didn't
the double
work.
Squiggly for
so already my car's in rough shape. I'm about to today I was going to take it in to the shop. I come out today to check on it, and what happened?
Sorry.
This guy that I was just talking to
it's like if you
backed
could trash
into my
talk in an
car
apology note.
and kind of indented the front of it and kind of cracked the front grill. So that was what that conversation. I haven't talked to the guy. I called and left a message. So that was him calling me, being like, "What do you want to do?" So I showed this to Rachel. I'm like, I think someone's trying to murder my car.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Like Sunday, broken window. Tuesday,
your car's
broken
been through it
door.
all.
Thursday, hit while parked. So that's my crash out. Is I'm literally people are crashing into me.
He was doing a lot of talking on the phone.
Yeah, that was
because it was minor. I just want to hear like what happened. Like, did you? Because I was like, it was pretty clear that he was parked and
yeah, he had. That was crazy though. The two craziest things about that note to me were the "so sorry" and the double squiggly when he was like around 2 p.m. But very interesting.
It just says 2 p.m. It was a guy's work van. I think he runs a carpet business. But yeah, so now I have to figure that out. Is it a damage that's going to keep it unable to be driven? No, but it's cosmetic damage where it's just a fucking throw it on the pile.
It's a pita. It's a pain
Throw
in the
it
ass
on the
for
pile,
sure.
man.
Well, folks, we hope we haven't been a pain in the ass, and we hope it's been a great start to your day on Slick's birthday. Slick, what do you got? Final word.
There is one more crash out. I didn't link it because we all still need to catch up on Could Have Been Love season 2. But the finalist has been decided by Drewski, and the runner-up crashed out to the point where we have body cam footage. So we will need to be doing some catching up on what could have
I gotta check Could Have Been Love this weekend for sure.
Right, folks, don't be like her. Don't crash out online. Crash out on our line, 716-226-6263. Happy
birthday, Slick and Gatesy. Happy birthday, Terry Pegula. Huge shout out to the OTB
I
for
got
having
a new
us.
nickname, Bad Luck Don, apparently.
Have a great weekend, and you can only start that by one way, by having a good day now.